Okay, so here's just a recording for the software called Krita. This is just based on requests. I personally would not use it. I'm just so used to Photoshop. But again, this is free, so it's a great start for painting. This is how the UI starts when you open it, and you can go to File, New File here, and for me, I will just use E4 300 pixels per inch, and then I'll just go create. Again, let me just go back there again, and it's like they have landscape here or portrait, so just make sure. Yeah, I guess understand that. So we'll go over the menus, and then we have a shortcut here: new, open, save. So over here we have export, and ideally as well you can go to your I call this Windows Explorer, and you can just click and drag images into this. Now over here you can see import animation frames, which Krita is actually pretty decent for doing animation. So if I would recommend this to do animation than Photoshop at the very least. Again, this is also another good one as well, where you can have the different versions on the same piece, so at least that's good. um, and again, with some of these I wouldn't want to touch, just because like for starters it's like not something that you want to go crazy on exploring. Document information is just basically just for you guys to give your thing a title and all these small details and all that stuff, which is not that important for us. Over edit is pretty much similar to Photoshop. The only difference is probably like fill with foreground color as a menu, background color, and then pattern. Then there's special as well with opacity and all that stuff. View also similar to we call this Photoshop, and you can go all through this stuff. And most of it is pretty self-explanatory. We have snap too, which again I'm not going to go through, so we're going to go to properties here. So again, pretty much general stuff, not that really important. Image background color, so if you want all this stuff you can do it. Again, something I probably would not want to want to try. So you have on image here, you have image rotate, all this stuff. Share image, I'm not sure what this one will do, but we can try it out later. And let's see here. So for most part, it's like I personally would not use most of these. I only just use it as just a painting software, and maybe an animation stuff. But aside from that, not really. So over here we got layer, we have select, group, transform, and again, so transform over here will do. We have rotate layer as well. There's a specific command for rotate, I guess, and we'll probably go through some of these. So flatten image is when you have two layers and you want to merge them together. Layer styles, let me see here if it's similar. So layer styles, this is also similar to Photoshop, so this is a good way to be non-destructive. So again, if you're familiar with layer styles and Photoshop, this is very familiar. Filter as well, they have adjust. This is pretty much quite relatively standard. Artistic is you want to have art tones, and again similar to Photoshop, probably more useful though, because like halftone, I know people who do regular comics, they do that. They have blur, but less options. Color as well. These ones I'm probably not gonna touch. Edge detection, I'm not too sure on this one as well. This one enhance, probably you might use some of these just to reduce some noise. Emboss might be kind of good, but again, you're gonna have to play around with that, which you're not gonna cover. I'm just gonna go over the basics as well. So you got gradient maps, normalize. Again, not gonna really touch that, because again, for what we wanna just do is just paint or draw. You can go configure Krita here. So here's some of the presets. Just say if you don't like certain things. So um, at least the software has tablet settings. So if you're not liking how much pressure, you can adjust this, which is great. Aside from that, this is Krita's a relatively light software. It's probably why a lot of people like it. Let me see here. Manage resources. Oh, okay. So if you want to import brushes, patterns, and all that stuff, this is where you do it. Let's see here. So if we go to configure toolbar, we can actually have what do you call this? Oops. Actually, I overdid it. Let's see. What was it? Oh, configure. You know what? So on this here, I want to rotate canvas. So we say. Uh, they don't have. Funny enough, they don't have something as basic as free rotate. So let me see if they do have that. No, they don't. So again, as I'm going through here, um, again they have fixed rotations, but they don't have what calls free rotation. Free rotation, there's only function. Again, could be wrong though, but from what I looked, it's basically a specific key. And let me see here if I can. Yep. So if I go to rotate, not can't really find it here. So you can rotate image, which not something that you want to do though, because it's like you want to rotate the canvas. Because rotating canvas, because again sometimes it's really hard to draw. So using Krita makes it a lot better. Again for Photoshop, the new ones anyways is R. I know in at the school computers they have like the old CS, I think CS3, and it doesn't have the rotate function. This is why we're switching to Krita, just so that if you're really annoyed with not being able to rotate, then I suggest you use this. So Windows, you have a bunch of preset animation. We call this a bunch of templates of layout. So over here you got painting, oops, big paint and paint. So I'm just gonna stick with paint. So that's pretty much it for all the menu stuff. Again, it's very general, nothing that drastic that you need to learn. Probably the only thing was that, let me see here. Probably this one's probably the most unique one. So if you wanna fill the whole environment with a certain pattern, you can do it like that. You see. So I'm going to just Control Z. Uh, the fill pattern here, if you just left click here, a bunch of patterns here. So let's go with let's pick one over here. So now I'm just going to go here, and like the colors. If I let's just test it out. So let's just pick a red color. Okay, and then white, and I'm just gonna fill it with what is it? Oh, yeah. So I guess a pattern does not it's not affected by color. I guess this is mainly for people doing manga, because like manga doesn't use color, and they usually use these halftone what do you call this, halftone stuff. But that said, I think there's also a brush that does the halftone stuff, so I'll show that to you guys later or soon anyways. Over here it's all the tools here. If it's too small or too big for you, you can just right click on the icon, and you have default 12 by 12, 14 by 14, and then I put mine on 22. So if you put it on default, it's like this. And for me, again, this is kind of puts a strain on my eye, so I go with 22 by 22. So let's just go through this is probably the most important bit that you can have to learn. So you have this, and this does nothing because this is specifically for vector. So this is the text. So again, you think it's straightforward, it doesn't work that way. You have to click and drag, and this menu pops out. And then I'm just going to put in here testing, and nothing happens, right? Until I go save. So if I want to change text, I have to select this, and then just let's pick a simple one. There you go. And then this does not change until I go save. Probably let's do something that's drastic. There you go. So and then again, let's make it bigger. Testing. So once you're done, again, it also has the menu here. So although I guess insert doesn't really work. I guess so. Maybe it does. No, I guess insert doesn't work. So you have a bunch of formats here. So if you wanna, have it bold, italic, underline, stripe through, and all this stuff, then here's the options. And you can have the alignment here. So aside from that, again, not much from here. So once you're done, you just close. And if you want to edit your text, now you can select this because the text is considered vector. Uh, I guess it's very strict because you can only edit this through size here. It's not like, oh well, maybe you can adjust it, but let's just use this one here. And yeah, so you can only adjust it. Again, it's kind of weird because like you can't adjust it with this, even though you think this is this would let you scale, but it doesn't. So um let's see here. It says click and drag on the bottom here to resize. I'm clicking and nothing's happening. But if I use this one here, then this makes it a lot easier to click and drag. Again, if you hold shift, it will be uniform. Oops, gotta be careful though. Let me undo that. Okay, and just gonna press enter. And again, I still can use this one to move, but aside from that, that's about it. You have edit shapes here. Not sure. Again, this I'll just show you what I'm gonna do here. So, this is a vector. Oops, actually, let me just. So now, right, this is technically a vector. Click here, and then you see these dots. So you can modify however you want with here. Yeah, see, so again, would I use this? Not really, or maybe some bits. Maybe if I was doing a comic and I wanted a line to be very specific, then yes, that'll be extremely valuable. But again, for me, no, not And then again, it automatically tells you what layer it is and all that stuff. So this is a layer. Although I actually added this on the text layer. So unlike Photoshop, text is considered a vector layer, but if you do another vector, then it will be in the same layer. So just keep that in mind. I usually like putting my text in one layer by itself. So if you must, right, add another vector, I think if I do this, now it will make another layer here. So keep that in mind. And I'll use this tool here. This is the edit shape tool. Again, it's pure, oops. Again, it's you do have to be careful though. Let me just use my pen so I don't go crazy with the thing. Oops. Yeah, it tends to do that when, oops. Let me just redo here. So again, the good thing about this one is that it's got, oh, it's weird. Okay, I guess I have to redo that again. I'm just gonna do a simple line here. You do have to be careful near the edges. You see, it tends to like run away, which is extremely dangerous. It's not something I want to do. I'm just gonna undo. Unfortunately, it's like once you do it, you undo it too far, right? It will, kind of go crazy. So just be careful with, with how you edit this. So yeah, and then which quite shifts quite a lot on the pen here. Again, don't want to waste too much time on this, but again, so at least you can guys try it out. So again, similar to Photoshop here, since I don't like this, I'm just going right click and remove layer. So again, you use the pen tool and the edit shape tool to get certain results. We'll go over with the freehand brush tool soon. You got the line tool here, so just click and drag, hold shift if you want it super straight, or at I think 45-degree angle, and it will make thing here. So you have the rectangle tool, circle, ellipsis tool, I guess, polygon tool, and the polyline tool. Now I'll show you that this is not your average. Let me see. Okay, so this line here is a vector. I don't want that to be a vector. Yeah. So again, you can add, make it curve. So this is really useful. but for now I don't want this to be in there. So I'm gonna go click here, and this itself is I don't think this is actually a vector actually. I could be wrong. Oh, I guess it is a vector. So I guess these ones are all vector based shapes. Now the interesting thing about these things, right, let me just show you, is when I'm doing these shapes. So but before I do this, so over here is the brush, what I call this, the brush settings, and next to it is the brush presets. So what I call this, so if you want certain look to it, so let's pick something that's really different. Let's see here. I guess we'll try the dry roller. If I recall, if I click and drag here, oh, I guess this doesn't. I guess it works with certain brushes, if I recall. So I'm gonna right click, and you have this basically. So I'm gonna pick the airbrush here. I'm just gonna undo this thing, and then if I click and drag, oh, that's weird. I guess I was wrong. I thought it would take the form because I managed to do it earlier, but I guess not. Let me see here, because I'm pretty sure I managed to. Oh, actually, I think I know why, because it's under vector. So now, yeah, see. So if it's a vector base, like this now, I will, whatever effect I do will not be affected by it. So let me just show you. So let's just do. So if you want this kind of effect, then it has to be. Oops. Here's something more interesting. See something with texture. So I'm just gonna go here. You see, so if you want this kind of effect, the layer must not be vector. It must be raster or pixel base. So again, the circle, the square, all of these are pretty much the same. Here, they do have like this weird stuff sometimes. I'm not sure why that happens. What do you call this again? If that ever happens, I suggest, if you want to do these kinds of stuff, I suggest you do one layer at a time. So let me just undo that. So yeah, see, and then again you can move it. So because you can move it here, which is this tool here. Again, keep in mind this is for vector. This is for when, for in general use, and you have a transform tool as well. See. So next step is, let's see what it has here. Curve thing here. So, and I'm just gonna press enter. Again, so this works for vector and what do you call this? A vector base or a raster base. Yeah, so same with this one as well. So again, if you want to do some really nice lines here, if you want to do it like a poster, I think this can be very useful. So I'm just gonna undo that. Next bit is, let me see what this say. So if you hover, it says, I'm not sure what this dynamic brush is. I guess it's what do you call this? The direction of your what do you call this? Of your brush. Again, depends on your tablet as well. If you don't have a tilt sensor, then might have an issue. But you can see that as I hover, it changes direction. I guess maybe it automatically does that, but I personally don't like doing that, because for certain areas I want to have a certain weight or certain, but if you want certain randomness in your strokes, then you can use the dynamic we call this the dynamic brush. So I'm just gonna delete this one. I'm pressing delete, by the way. So unlike Photoshop, when you press delete, of course it deletes the layer if you don't do the selection. So here it's kind of useful that you just want to clear your whole canvas or in that layer anyways. And then we have this multi brush here, shortcut Q. This is something I can see myself using because if you see here, make a quad line here. So I guess if you want to do like Celtic runes, for some game or something like that, this can be really useful. But again, keep in mind this does 4 strokes. If you don't want to have it to have 4 strokes, you can use the horizontal I call this a horizontal symmetry. So I'm just going to go here. But keep in mind that this is based on the symmetry on the stuff. So if you want it to be here and here, then you have an issue. So I'm just going to do it here. Yeah, so I'm just going to undo that just to show you guys. So technically this is the same as well, you see. There's that one. But this one you probably have more control, so you know. So again, if you want to do really interesting patterns, this is also very useful. Something that Photoshop is definitely lacking. I'm not sure about the new ones though, but at the very least, what I call this, you can do really nice patterns with this. Ta-da! All right, so that's to do with the symmetry, which I think is like Photoshop is definitely lacking. Let's see where we with them. So we were at the multi-brush here, so we did touch this one. This is the move, this is the scale, this is the crop, similar to Photoshop. So if you want to crop here and then press enter, yeah, see. But you know, I want to keep it at A4 stuff. You have the gradient stuff similar to Photoshop. I'm just gonna click here so that it, you know, I have black and white. Over here, when I click this, you have a bunch of presets here. Uh, I don't think this has a similar gradient control compared to Photoshop. You see, so you can't do like it doesn't have a circular radiant and all that stuff. So you are kind of restricted. So I guess if you want to do gradient stuff here, no, I think again keep in mind this software is free, so you are limited to how you want to do it. So again, to be honest with you, right, if you want to use Krita, I suggest you still have Photoshop because there's certain things certain software can't do. Like Photoshop doesn't do blending colors well. This software is built for blending colors. So again, we will go through that very soon. So again, color pickers, P, colorize, mass editing. A tool I don't really use. Smart patch I don't really use as well. We have the fill bucket, which is normal stuff. So if I want the background to be red, then I just click on here. Oops, click here. Got stuff there. So again, very self-explanatory. What do we have here? Assist tool here. I'm not too sure what this does. I guess. Let me see here. Not really useful to be honest with you. uh, I thought it was gonna be some other ways. Again, you can look it up on their website. See what tools are useful for. I'm gonna just turn this off. And again, like this one here, I'm not gonna use. I guess like angle, like figure out what angle this is. But again, let me see here if it will help. No, it doesn't. So again, not something I would use. Pin reference image tool here. Again, something I wouldn't use. I'll just have my image in another window, and I'll just what call this? I'll just have it hanging in the background or on my second monitor. Again, if you don't have that, I just suggest you have the picture on another another image or something like that. And then you have these ones here. This is the selection tool here. This is the classic stuff. And then you have the polygon lasso tool. And this is the freehand one. Magic one. So similar color selection, which is really useful. And this is the one with the similar. So I'll go here. Also, me using this is pretty slim though, pretty much everyone. But again, it's nice that it's there at least. So I'm just going to deselect that. So finally, now we can go to the gritty, nitty gritty bit, which everyone's seen on. So you want to learn how to paint. So right click. Oh wait, let me go here. Right click, and actually I want to turn off that dynamic stuff. So I'm just going to go here. Oops. Go here. I'm going to paint. So if you right click on the canvas, right, you have a bunch of presets here. So I'm just going to go here, and I want to go to digital. So this is the digital, I guess. And it has a bunch of presets here. It's pretty much the same as clicking here, but here you have all the selections here. Here it's a bunch of quick ones where you can do color and all this stuff. So I'm just going to go here. You have erase. So you have what you call it, a big one, small one, and then a putty eraser. So putty eraser is really good for lifting or removing, some color. So let's just test that out. So I'm just going to go here, and let me just clear this up, and let's just shade I call this circle. And I'm going to press X, which inverts, similar to Photoshop, and I'm just going to again, keep in mind I'm not erasing, so just to prove to you I'm not erasing. You see, I'm actually filling this with color. So let me just switch colors because I want the bottom bit to be a bit darker. So now, right, with you can use an airbrush here. So if you want to blend colors better, you can use this. P is the color picker. Oops. Let me see what's this. Okay, so let me see here. Actually, I guess they don't have a color picker similar to Photoshop. You gotta manually, maybe I should go to my, what do you say, settings and configure. Let's see our keyboard shortcut. So why would I have hello here? Oh my god. It's like, so yeah, some of these stuff was kind of so silly though. So I want to, let me see, where's the tools? Okay, here. Yeah, I'm just gonna go default, see if what happens. Oh, let's see if here. So Photoshop. So hopefully color picker doesn't really work as well. I have to manually do this. So again, you see why I'm not so keen with using this software, because color picking is not so intuitive. I can't color pick when I'm using brush. I literally have to and seems like pressing B or a color picker doesn't seem to activate it. So it's my color picker. Let me see. Oh, it says I there. Oh, okay, so it's weird because Photoshop's color picker is not what I call this, not I. It's holding Alt when you're on the brush. So again, they're just going for what I call this, one key for so B and I is what you're going to be switching to. I guess if you get used to it, that's okay. But again, I'm so used to using what calls holding Alt because I want to quickly color pick. I guess if you got a really good tablet, or you can assign what I call this, you can assign a shortcut on your tablet buttons, and that'll be okay. So again, we're not going to go through all of these, but I just want to show you why some people may like these softwares, because because of the blending. So let's just go with, actually let's try one with color, and let me just make sure that, oops, wrong one. Go with airbrush here. Let's just pick something, so you can see that it mimics what happens when you have two different colors here, where you can see that purple bit. Obviously different different let me see, let's go for some paint. Okay, I recall there's one where it mixes colors together. Let me see here. So I think this cotton bud is a good one here, see? So that way now, right, I can just use this so-called cotton bud and it blends the two colors together. See that? So again, if again, this is like I said, you should be really smart at picking what software is what, or pick softwares for their strength, not for their weaknesses. Like I wouldn't use this to edit photos. I'd use this to, do color blending or to get an artistic stroke. So again, I'm just right clicking here. You have your changes here, brush, what do we call this, brush settings here. So if you want to have the smudge rate and all that stuff, you can adjust it. So see, so if you want these kinds of effects, a more organic result, then yes, you can use this. As you can see, that I don't have to color pick. I'm just picking the two colors and they are blending together. See, so and it gives a pretty nice result. So again, picking colors and all that stuff is very useful. And oh yeah, before I forget as well, it's like if you want to rotate, it's shift and spacebar to rotate the canvas. So this is free. Actually, I totally forgot. How do I call this? Rotate Krita here. Let me just see here. Rotate. Uh, rotate canvas is what I want. So you have shift and you know what? So okay, let me just go here. Yeah, it seems like this one. So you know what? So see here. Yeah. Let me just because again, it's like this is not the rotation is not. Oops. Not at a steady value here, so I probably do have to be careful. I recall there's a shortcut for it. I just forgot what it was. What I call this? I think this. Okay, so go here. I think it's like F5 or something like that. Oops, it's not it. Yeah, you can't do rotation, so it doesn't snap. That's the issue here. I'm hoping that I can find one snap. Yeah, just have to load up the stuff here because sometimes I do forget how to do the rotation and all that stuff. Just have to look it up. Yeah. I mean, technically, yeah, you can go through the what do you call this, through the Krita stuff here, or again YouTube. Like also again, if you guys get stuck on the snapping here, I probably have to stop this video to do the rotation here. But I think if you go shift right click, I think should be okay. Because shift and space bar should be okay. And I think again, it'll never go here. Just put a note that how to do it. How to do snap. But again, it's like you have all these tools here. Let me see here. Oops. Like this one is just to see the canvas, and you still have the symmetry. You have digital eraser, effects. I'm not sure what this one does. I think it's like kind of, yeah, kind of like I'm not sure what this one actually does. This one. Let's see what this is. Okay, lightens the color. This is multiply. What's this one do? Overlay. It's a burn. Shape fill. Not that very useful. Again, you guys can try it out for yourself, but not something I want to do. But like just to test you that it's not this is just another software. You guys, for the most part, right, need to stop thinking, oh man, if I had this software, then it'll be good. I mean, some software can be helpful, but at the end of the day, it's just a tool. As my mentor says, it's like, if you're comfortable using this compared to Photoshop, then by all means use it. For me, I've used Photoshop for quite a while and pretty comfortable with it because as I see no need to try different softwares because so long as I get the result that I want. So again, so if I press E, right, it automatically becomes erase mode, and then have to press E to deactivate it as well. So from that, that's pretty much if you want actually just to prove to you guys, probably let's just do the apple bit again. So oops, can't believe it. I have to look for apple. So fruit, because I gotta find the image. Okay, so just as a short demo, I guess I'll just copy and paste this image here. Oops. Uh, yeah, okay. Swipe here, and I'm just gonna select here. So that'll be my color thing. So I'm gonna go filter, and I guess I'll do a Gaussian blur. Again, this is just sort to average out the color. So I'm just going to go press I, and then press B. Again, just doing this relatively quickly, and press back to B again. Again, if you're not feeling the color, again using the the close brackets next to P on the keyboard, you can change the size quite relatively quickly. That stuff really boils down to preference in terms of software. But again, it's like a lot of people probably prefer Photoshop, sign, all that stuff. But again, it really boils down to preference or what result you want to get. Like I'll probably use this just to do coloring. See here, because again, it gives you that unique texture that I think Photoshop has issue getting. Again, I'm just gonna reduce that, and then press I and B between B is to go back to your brush. I is for color picking. So again, just to show you. Would I use this on a daily basis? Not if I was forced to be honest with you. But because again, this software has rotate, and because software at the school doesn't, so it's can understand the frustration is there. Yeah. So again, just switching B and I, and just going how it goes. Um, and again, you can try out different brushes. I'm not going to go over all of these because it's quite a lot of brushes to play around with, and oops, that's not what I wanted. No, definitely not the result I'm looking for. Control Z is to undo. Same with mini software. It's kind of standardized now. Let's see here. Again, if you're not happy with these, then you might want to try some of these. Let's try this one. So I'm pretty sure this is the blending one here, which is surprisingly not in the shortcut, which it should be. So now I'm just going to go over here and see. So it's really easy for blending colors together. And again, keep in mind, right, your how strong you push on the pen will give you the the effect, because again it is tablet sensitive. So let me just see here, color here, and again the thing is you gotta make sure that you do a lot of color picking and using the right brush for the right job. So over here. There you go. So again, it'll take a while for you guys to get used to it. But again, it's like, just say if you don't have access to Photoshop, I think this is quite close to a good substitute for painting at least. I say just start something small, draw some outlines, and then paint. Make sure you set the layers, and then paint behind the outline, and then you get something. I might do some what do you call this? I might do some what's the term? Uh, some tests on it, but for now, again, not that keen on using Krita, honestly. But again, all this is an alternative and it's free, so you got nothing to lose here. All right, it's pretty much pretty much it for all the software. You have the Photoshop UI introduction, so it's very similar. I just covered something very specific, and just to get you guys started to paint and to draw. The most important thing is that the presets here for the brushes, these are the ones that will give you the result that you want. Let's see here. Yeah. So again, I could go through the whole entire video. This is probably why you don't see much videos on how to draw with Krita, because like the result is really up to you. These are just tools. No one tells you, oh, this is how you use a chisel. They just say, okay, yeah, you use a chisel, and you this is what you can get, the result, what you can get. But again, it's a combination of all of these that gives you the result. Again, you for most of these, you guys gotta experiment, because again, I suggest you use reference for what you want to draw, and then see if you can mimic the style or the texture of the stuff. So the advantage between this and Photoshop, this provides probably a more choices in terms of the what do you call this, the texture that you can get. So just say I want to do that. Oops. Let's see if this one. Oh, it's not what I wanted. Wait. Again, you get what do you call this? It just takes quite a while to, or takes a, or don't expect to be good straight off the bat, because it's a new software. And also, don't expect the software to do the work, or all of the work for you, if that makes sense. Yeah. Again, if you guys got any questions, let me know. I might be missing something, but I think as a general note for software, I think this should be a good start. All right, good luck.